Mother's Day weekend 2021, we launched it and we were floored at what happened there. We put our initial order in for 500 and sold that in the first weekend.
How many subscribers do you have?
It's over 700,000.
You got to that first 100,000 in 4 months. What's the strategy there? How do you do that? Today on the Unofficial Shopify podcast, we're going to have someone break down for us YouTube sales funnels. I want to know how someone, in this case our guest, takes 700,000 YouTube subscribers and then gets those people to make a purchase, right? Building an audience is, I think, the hard part. But once you've built an audience, now, okay, how do we monetize that? How do we provide value to that group? And YouTube is a wonderful way to do this. When you combine a YouTube audience and a Shopify store, some magic can occur. And so Cathy Yoder is going to join us today and break it down because she has 700,000 YouTube subscribers, a best-selling book. She's been a blogger for years. She has been there, done that, and is going to break it down for us. Cathy, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Hey, so good. I'm happy to be here.
Would you give us a rundown of your business, what it is you do, you sell? How does Cathy Yoder make money today?
Oh, lots of different ways. So I've been, as you mentioned, blogging for years. Actually, 2008 is when I started all of the blogging fun. Pivot 2020, I had a lot of content on my blog, recipes. And so I decided to start creating content on YouTube just for another revenue stream. My goal was to get AdSense and then affiliate revenue. And that's what I did for a little bit until my audience started asking for more.
What were they asking for? I mean, a phenomenal for your audience to tell you what they need.
Right. Yeah, because I was giving them all of this free content. I was doing food. I started kind of broad on different food and then niche down into air fryer recipes because that's what was lifting. So I would give the full recipe. I would write the entire recipe in the YouTube description. It was just like, here, if I had it on my blog, I would link to it on my blog. Like, I was like, they don't need anything more. I've given them everything. And they were like, we want a cookbook. And I have hundreds of comments of people like, we want a cookbook. And I was like, I don't know how to do that. Right. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do an ebook. Gather up what I've already created, send it to somebody on Fiverr, had them format it, built a funnel, and threw an ebook in there. And Mother's Day weekend 2021, we launched it. And I was like, okay, here it goes. And we were floored at what happened there. Like 15K in sales for the ebook was like, I think $14.95. And we had an order bump. We had like a dessert ebook they could add on if they wanted.
Do you still sell ebooks?
I do have, not that particular one. So that one had like 50 recipes in it. And they were like, we love it. That's great. We want an actual book. We want a physical cookbook. After some time and then grinding for a couple of months and working with somebody else on Fiverr, we built another funnel. And I think we launched it right before Christmas in 2021 and found like a printer in the US that kind of would, quote unquote, drop ship it, which was kind of expensive. But we sold the cookbook it was like $32 after shipping. We put our initial order in for 500 and sold that in the first weekend. And then my business partner and I are like, okay, we're going to sell more. Anyway, long story short, after that first 2 weeks, we realized it was bigger than we thought it was going to be. And we needed to save money and source from China. And so all the earnings from that first 2 weeks of sales paid for a massive order of 10,000 cookbooks. And we had to fly 3,000 of them here, which pretty sure that was like a $15,000 plane ticket. It was insane to fly cookbooks here. And then the other 7,000 came by boat. But there was such demand. It was insane. We just didn't expect it.
And you would expect this digital native audience, a YouTube audience may prefer digital content. And it sounds like as much as I love digital products because they're, 98% profit.
Right.
That the audience preferred physical books.
Yep. They demanded.
Interesting.
Yeah. They wanted the physical.
And for content marketing, I have seen recipes just be so successful over and over. We've worked with brands like Meat Church, Cosmos Q, anyone that is at all related to food, kitchen, anything you eat, even if you're a step removed from it. Recipes just make for phenomenal content marketing, whether that's SEO, YouTube, or in your case, lead generation.
Yeah, and I know my audience resonated with me because I just would straight up tell them I don't like to cook. I'm a lazy cook. Like that's why I'm using air fryer. And if it's a recipe with a million ingredients or things I can't pronounce, or I'm like, I have no idea where that is in the store, then like I don't do that. So my recipes are simple and my kids taste test on the videos. So they're, for the most part, family approved. Anyway, so they could see that. It was just giving them, showing them, they saw it and they were like, we want more.
So let's start with the big picture here. YouTube drives sales. How walk me through how, as a casual viewer, I go from a search to buying your product.
So they find me and then they see that I'm just real. And if I mess up, I don't edit that out. If my kids, give something a thumbs down, but I still like it, or there's even been times that we're all like, "Ooh, this is terrible." And we've got footage of my daughter spitting the food out in the trash can. I'm authentic and I think normal. They come into my kitchen. I'm not like it's not a production studio. It's me with my camera on my little, gorilla tripod, and I'm just sharing what I'm doing in the kitchen. So they resonate with that. Not everybody does, but I'm not a pro chef and I don't claim to be. But when they see what I'm making and see how actually easy it is, then they're like, okay, I want more. And they have more, they could get it all on my channel, but people like things packaged for easy consumption. And that's the cookbook.
Your Shopify store, that's Pine and Pepper, pineandpepper.co.
Yes.
And it's got the air fryer recipes cookbook. You've got a magnetic air fryer cheat sheet set, which I think that's so clever. And you walk me through some of the other accessories and products we're selling here, in addition to digital downloads.
Right. Yeah. So I started just with a cookbook, right? And I also mentioned that I was Amazon affiliate. Naturally, I'm using products in my videos and I could see what are the top selling things. And then it was like, it would kind of just be a no brainer to do those ourselves, and the Me Too products. So the cheat sheets, they're all over Amazon, but all we had to do was go through and read reviews and see where they went wrong. And it was things like it was too hard to read. Well, my audience is 55 and older, so we knew we needed to do a larger font. We need to make it really clear and easy to read. I surveyed them. I was like, what do you want to see on a cheat sheet? And had a long list of all these different foods. And we literally picked the ones that were the most voted for. So we have all the data on there. So we just made it better and it sells really well.
So you start with Amazon affiliate links because that's a fairly easy way.
Oh yeah.
Fairly straightforward way to monetize something like passively, but there's analytics to it, right? It shows you what you're getting paid out on, what you're getting commissions on, what people are buying. Doesn't it show like what they buy in their cart together?
Yes, everything in their cart. So even though I wasn't necessarily promoting cheat sheets in my videos, I could see that they were buying them. And I was like, they need this.
That's really clever. There's a YouTube Shopify integration where like you could show like a little shelf of products embedded right on YouTube, pulled out of Shopify. Do you use that?
Yes. And we've actually only been using that 5-6 months. To be clear, I started with just a cookbook funnel, yummyairfryerrecipes.com. That's where I started. Then we created the cheat sheet and it was like, okay, airfryercheatsheet.com. But I was like, oh my gosh, we don't need all these funnels. And people were wanting to buy multiple products. So it didn't make sense to continue doing funnels. It made sense then to move to Shopify so people could build their cart and see all of the things that I was offering. So we actually created another like sister brand is Pine and Pepper. Then when we figured out that Shopify and YouTube had integration, it was just like, what? So I went to all my top videos, especially the ones where I'm talking about products, and we add the shelf, but then also timestamp it. And now that I'm creating content, I can actually call it out, point. I know it's going to show up right here. and just like you can find it right here. And it's such a natural, easy way to integrate. And then you get the data on Shopify and in YouTube, so I can see how much money that has made me just by adding that to my videos. It's so fun.
And it's that YouTube and Google say official sales channel that
Mhm.
they have that you plug in. It's not like an app; it's a sales channel, and then in it you connect it to Merchant Center, your Google properties, and then in YouTube is where you select the
Mhm.
products.
Yeah, because YouTube on the back end, they've got their like there's tons of different stores, like Walmart, Target, like pretty much everybody except Amazon you can link to. And so it's just my own store is there, and I can select the products and add to the videos. And it also, like if I have the links in the description, it just like automatically knows here's suggested ones to add to your video. So it's really easy, and it works on short form.
We reduce the confusion where it's very easy for you as the creator to say like, okay, this is the product we're talking about. You can get it at my store. Click below.
Right.
Now the other catch here is you have how many subscribers do you have?
Um, I don't remember. It's over 700,000. So,
It's a lot.
yeah.
You got to that first 100,000 in 4 months.
Mhm.
100 days, you got 100,000 subscribers, which is extraordinary. What's the strategy there? How do you do that?
I spent that time in those first several months teaching the algorithm what my channel was about. So there's just some strategy on number one, don't just be willy nilly and posting whatever. You need to be strategic and stay in your lane for the content that you're creating. So you've got to be clear and like linking titles together and making somewhat similar videos. So I started under the umbrella of recipes, but then I did air fryer, instant pot, slow cooker, freezer meals, copycat. And I just alternated between all of those 5 different groups and tying things in. Like at the end of your video, use like the last 7 seconds to tell them what to watch next. Because the longer you keep them on the platform, the happier YouTube is, right? All the platforms.
So, coming to the end of our time together, I got 3 quick closing questions for you. If you wake up tomorrow and said, "Look, I'm not uploading any more YouTube videos," what would you be doing instead?
We've had these conversations because it can get draining. I don't know. I really love the connection that I have. So I in one of my memberships, I have like a monthly call where we get on a Zoom call and we cook something together. And that I love. Like if I could still connect with people and do a Zoom call or whatever. But YouTube's my lead gen, so it's not going away anytime soon. But anything that I could do that would still serve people and help me connect with people is really that's what I would do. That would be prime.
And if someone wanted to build a business the way you did, where you go, "All right, I mean, content first, audience first, then products," what's the one thing they gotta get right?
Your camera presence, right? Being true to yourself. If somebody came and tried to mimic and do exactly how I did and speak the way I speak, but that's not how they actually were, it wouldn't come across well, right? So being your true authentic self and creating stuff and doing it because you want to help people. I think that's got to be, understanding your why and being willing to be terrible at something and just focusing on trying to master that skill of how do I speak my truth on camera so it reaches the right people because, you know, everyone needs a different somebody.
Great advice.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a different somebody.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's when people are like, oh, it's too full. There's already enough air fryer recipes or whatever it would be. It's like, well, there's somebody else that needs to learn it from you and not from me, right? Because they're going to resonate with you more than they would with me. So maybe it is you're an amazing chef and you could totally up level the air fryer in a chefy way, not a mom way. Like there's a whole group of people that need that because my recipes are not advanced enough for them.
Yeah, there's always a way to add your personality to it, your
Mhm.
background, your experience, and then in doing so, make it unique. So, if I needed air fryer accessories, recipes, and advice, where do I go to find you?
So if you go to empoweredcooks.com, that takes you to all of my, it's kind of my hub page It'll get you to my YouTube channel, to my online store. My Shopify is pineandpepper.co. And then, yeah, we're also on Amazon and all the places.
Wonderful. Cathy Yoder, I've learned a lot, and I'm now feeling quite insecure about my approach to YouTube. I have to rethink things. You've given me a lot to think about. So yeah, Pine and Pepper, check it out. Cathy Yoder, thank you so much.
Thank you it's been a lot of fun.